What if I told you that something as ordinary as climbing a staircase may tell us far more about healthy aging than most people realize? A large analysis involving more than 480,000 people found that people who climbed stairs had a 24% lower risk of death from any cause and a 39% lower risk of cardiovascular death compared with people who did not climb stairs. That does not prove that climbing stairs alone makes you live longer. But it does highlight something important. Maintaining the physical capacity to climb stairs can be a valuable part of staying active and independent as we age. And here is something even more remarkable. In a classic study involving frail nursing home residents around 90 years old, participants completed 8 weeks of high-intensity resistance training. 9 completed the program. Their leg strength increased by an average of 174%. Muscle size increased too, and their tandem walking speed improved by 48%. Think about that for a moment. These were not 50-year-olds trying to get fit. They were very old adults, some as old as 96, demonstrating that even at an advanced age, muscle can still respond powerfully to appropriate resistance training. And that matters because climbing stairs asks considerably more from your legs than simply walking across a flat floor. Your thighs help support and raise your body. Your hips help generate and control force. And your lower legs and ankles contribute as you move from one step to the next. So if stairs have started feeling harder, don't assume that getting older means you simply have to accept it. Today we'll train these 3 important areas with 3 focused exercises, then bring them together with one practical stair movement. Before we move into the first exercise, drop your name and where you're watching from in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Now let's start with the area that faces some of the greatest demands on every step upward. Your thighs. Exercise 1, wall sit. Your thighs are a good place to start because climbing stairs places substantial demands on the muscles that straighten your knee, particularly your quadriceps. Every time you place one foot on the next step and begin raising your body, these muscles help support your weight and control the knee as you move upward. Research examining adults between 60 and 88 years old found that stair climbing can place particularly high demands on the knee extensors. In other words, stairs ask much more from your thighs than ordinary level walking. The first exercise is the wall sit. Stand with your back against a sturdy wall and place your feet about hip width apart. Step your feet slightly forward, then slowly slide your back down the wall by bending your knees. You do not need to reach a 90-degree angle. In fact, if you're new to this exercise, stay higher on the wall. Find a position where your thighs are clearly working, but you still feel stable and in control. Keep your feet flat on the floor and your knees pointing in the same general direction as your toes. Now hold. Start with just 10 to 15 seconds. Within several seconds, you'll probably begin to feel the muscles across the front of your thighs working. That's the feedback we're looking for, not sharp pain in the knees, but muscular effort in the thighs. Then slowly slide back up the wall and rest. Try 2 or 3 rounds. As you become stronger, you can gradually work toward 20 or 30 seconds rather than immediately trying to sit lower. And here's an important point. Deeper is not automatically better. The goal is to create an appropriate strength challenge while maintaining good control. If your knees hurt, reduce the depth or stop the exercise. You can also keep a sturdy chair nearby for additional support when getting into and out of position. But your thighs are only one part of the equation. To move your body upward from one step to the next, another powerful region has to contribute. For our second exercise, we're changing position completely and focusing on your hips. Exercise 2, feet elevated glute bridge. Now let's move to the second important area, your hips. Climbing stairs is not simply a knee-dominant movement. As you push your body upward, the muscles around your hips, particularly the hip extensors, also contribute to producing and controlling the forces required to raise your body. That's why our second exercise focuses on the glutes with a feet elevated glute bridge. Lie on your back and place both feet on the edge of a low, sturdy chair, bench, or step that cannot slide away from you. Keep your knees comfortably bent and your arms resting beside your body before you move. Gently brace your midsection, then press through your feet, squeeze your glutes, and slowly lift your hips away from the floor. You don't need to lift as high as possible. Stop when your hips are comfortably elevated and you can clearly feel your glutes working without excessively arching your lower back. Hold the top position for 1 or 2 seconds. Then lower your hips slowly and with control. And for about 8 to 10 repetitions. The key here is not speed. Make each repetition deliberate. Lift, squeeze, pause, and slowly lower. If you mainly feel your lower back working, reduce the height of the movement and focus on squeezing your glutes rather than trying to push your hips higher. And if elevating your feet makes the exercise too challenging, simply place your feet on the floor and perform a regular glute bridge instead. For anyone who finds getting down to or up from the floor difficult or unsafe, skip this version rather than forcing it. A standing hip strengthening alternative may be more appropriate. After several controlled repetitions, you should feel a very different kind of effort from the wall sit. The first exercise challenged the front of your thighs. This one shifts the work toward the powerful muscles around your hips, but we still haven't reached the bottom of the chain. Your knees and hips may provide much of the strength, but every step also involves the lower legs and ankles. And that's where our third exercise becomes especially interesting, because we're going to train both sides of the lower leg in one continuous movement. Exercise 3, calf raise to tibialis raise. Now let's move down to the third area, your lower legs and ankles. Your hips and thighs do a great deal of work when you climb stairs. But movement doesn't stop at the knee. Your ankles also help produce and control force as your body moves from one step to the next. For this exercise, we're going to combine two movements into one continuous pattern, a calf raise followed immediately by a tibialis raise. Stand behind a sturdy chair or kitchen counter and hold on lightly for support. Keep your feet about hip width apart and stand as tall as comfortably possible. First, slowly rise onto the balls of your feet by lifting both heels off the floor. Pause briefly at the top and feel the muscles in the back of your lower legs working. Now lower your heels back to the floor with control, but don't stop there. Immediately shift your weight slightly towards your heels and lift the front of both feet, bringing your toes upward while your heels remain on the ground. You should now feel the muscles along the front of your lower legs working. Lower your toes back down. That's one complete repetition. Heels up, return to center. Toes up, return to center. Continue alternating between the two positions in one smooth, controlled rhythm. Aim for about 8 to 12 complete repetitions. Avoid rocking your entire body backward and forward to create the movement. The motion should come primarily from your ankles. And don't rush through the middle. The controlled transition is part of the exercise. If balance is a concern, keep both hands firmly on your support. This is a lower leg strengthening exercise, not a balance test. You can also use a smaller range of motion at first and gradually increase it as your control improves. Notice what makes this movement different. One moment you feel the back of your lower legs working. The next, you feel the muscles along the front. We've now challenged your thighs, your hips, and your lower legs. But strength becomes most useful when these areas can contribute together. So for our final movement, we're going to take everything we've just trained and bring it back to the reason you're here. Climbing stairs. Exercise 4, controlled stair climb. Put it together. Now it's time to put it all three areas together in the movement. We're actually trying to preserve climbing stairs. The previous exercises trained individual parts of the system. This final movement gives you a chance to practice using them together in the actual task. Choose a short staircase with a secure handrail if stairs already feel unsafe for you. Skip this exercise and continue building strength with the previous movements first. Place one foot fully on the first step and hold the handrail as much as you need. Now climb slowly as you move upward. Think about the three areas we've trained. Your thigh helps support and straighten the knee as your body rises. Your hip contributes as you drive your body upward. And your lower leg and ankle help control the movement as you transition from one step to the next. Start with just 3 to 5 steps at a comfortable pace. Don't rush, skip steps, or avoid using the handrail just to make the exercise harder. The goal is controlled, confident movement, not exhaustion. Pause at the top and notice how your legs feel. Over time, as your strength and confidence improve, you can gradually practice a few more steps rather than immediately trying to climb an entire staircase. And remember, this is task practice, not a test. If you feel unsteady, dizzy, unusually short of breath, or experience significant pain, stop. 3 areas, 3 focused strength exercises, then 1 familiar movement that brings them all together. That's how we turn isolated strength into something that matters in everyday life. You don't need to do all of these exercises every day to benefit from them. A practical starting point is 2 sessions per week. Try 1 to 3 rounds of the wall sit, 1 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 elevated glute bridges, and 1 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 complete calf to tibialis raises. For the stair practice, begin with only a few controlled steps and use the handrail whenever needed. Focus on good technique rather than doing more repetitions. As the exercises become easier, gradually increase the hold time, repetitions, or amount of practice instead of progressing everything at once. Stop exercising if you develop chest pain, unusual shortness of breath, dizziness, significant joint pain, or feel unsafe or unstable. If you have a medical condition, recent surgery, or significant mobility limitations, speak with your healthcare professional before beginning a new exercise program. This video is for general education only and is not medical advice. Diagnosis or individualized treatment. Always follow guidance from your healthcare professional when managing health conditions or symptoms. Climbing stairs may become more challenging with age, but your muscles can still respond to appropriate training. Remember the 3 areas we focused on today: your thighs, your hips, and your lower legs and ankles. Strengthen them consistently. Then practice using them together with control. And before you go, look at the video on your screen now. If getting up from the floor has become harder too, that is the perfect next lesson for you. Click that video and continue with me there. Stay active, stay strong, and I'll see you in the next one.